Yeah, we realized it like halfway through. We're probably on like photo 10 or 11. We're like, we're on photo 10 and this card has 10 photos on it. We should probably maybe take a couple backups, like double take.
God. So I shot my first bar mitzvah recently.
Mitzvahs are crazy.
That was intense. Oh my gosh. It was the most intricate, like detailed, over the top kind of celebration I've ever seen. More so than even some weddings I've filmed.
Yeah, for sure.
I had no idea what I was walking into. But today's topic, we're going to talk about how to stay creative when you're under pressure. And this comes up in a lot of different instances in a creative business or when you're shooting something. It can come up in the corporate side. I find like most of the time it comes up in more of like the events and weddings side. You're going to have moments where things are moving at a rapid pace or you're behind schedule, the timeline's behind, and you don't have a lot of time to get the shots that you need. So how do you stay calm and continue to get those creative shots while you are under a lot of pressure, regardless of what the situation is? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Quick one.
So how do you stay calm under pressure?
Well, in that instance at the bar mitzvah, there was so much going on. Like there were games in one section and then there was a bar with appetizers and cocktails, and because there were adults at this party, cocktails for the adults, not the kids, obviously. There was an MC. This whole entertainment company was amazing. They had an MC, they had dancers that they hired to keep the kids dancing and play games with the kids. Like it was truly incredible. So the first pressure started kind of when we got there, because the client had told me they wanted us to get some empty shots of like the decorations and the room and everything before people started to arrive. But the entertainment company and the venue itself was still kind of setting up. So I couldn't like clear the room at any point. And by the time they were done with like getting stuff ready and what they needed to do, guests were starting to show up from the ceremony. So that was a moment where I was like, okay, can I get the shots that I need with what the client wants? So I actually asked the entertainment company, like, hey, can you make an announcement to clear the room so that I can get at least one good shot of this whole setup so that no one's in it? And they were like, yes, cool. So that's what you needed to do. Sometimes you just have to ask for help. So I did that. And then, the whole rest of the party is like, kids going absolutely crazy on the dance floor. Like they were going feral. It was unreal. They're playing games. They're giving away jerseys with this kid's name on it. Like it was nuts. So in that instance, what I did to get the shots that I needed and to stay creative was just fall back on your roots. Fall back on your systems that work. So for example, like different types of shots with the gimbal, like parallaxes, making sure you get those kinds of shots, making sure you're keeping your settings right. Because sometimes when you're in the moment and you're panicking, you're like, you might forget to change a certain setting. So got to make sure you have everything locked in. And also just like remember to have fun, because at the end of the day, it's a bar mitzvah. It's a fun event. As long as you don't miss, the candle lighting ceremony part and things like that, you're going to be fine. So all I did was fall back on what I know how to do, get the shots that I normally get for the event, and then walk around the room a couple times to see like what else is going on. So the main part of the event was in the middle dance floor, but there also were games on the outside and people in the cocktail area. So I walked around and I ended up getting a couple really fun shots of kids playing like air hockey, and like there was a baseball simulator and stuff like that.
Dude, the one I went to, there was so many cool arcade type games. I was like, damn, I wish I was here as a kid.
It's crazy. So just falling back on what you know is right, and then also like look up, look around at what's happening. Don't just look in front of you. Do not get tunnel vision. Make sure that you're taking the time to assess the situation, go to different parts of the area or the venue that you're at, and just make sure that you can fall back on the schedule that you had or the shot list that you had and just be aware of what's happening around you, because you might turn around and there's like a really fun moment happening behind you that you didn't know was there. So that's like what I kind of tried to do for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, for like event related stuff, I've experienced this more so for weddings and things like that. And there's been a couple instances like either, well, if I was overwhelmed in the moment, I sometimes would just kind of lean on the photographer and just kind of just do whatever they're doing. If I can't think of anything, they're kind of leading stuff anyway. Just do what they do and you'll probably be fine.
That's a good tip.
I also pretty much shoot always with a second person. So if I'm individually, I'm not feeling it, or if I'm lacking some creativity in the moment, I can usually rely on them to step in and, start directing and leading some things if I can't think of anything. I mean, honestly, there's also been times where just generally in the day, I'm just not feeling it. Not even being creative, just like, it's just one of those days. Usually we try hard to like think of new poses or new creative things we can do. But if it's one of those days, we go into it and it's like, we have the playbook that works. Let's just do those today. There's nothing wrong with it. They work. They look good. Like you're saying, just fall back on kind of what you know.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that because it works.
Exactly. Yep. And in a more, I guess, corporate setting, say you're working with a business to create a brand video or something like that. Yeah. I think one of the most important things is, first of all, do your research.
Yeah, preemptively avoid it by being prepared.
Exactly. Like you can't just go into a shoot and not have any sort of idea of where you want to go. I would say the more specific, the better. Like not only having an idea of what you want the video to look like, but shot lists. Like we both prepare shot lists of what we need for our videos, for stuff like that. So not only doing a shot list, but do your research on the client, like stalk their website, ask them questions.
If you were doing say like a brand story type video, do you tend to go in prior to do like essentially like a location scout type of thing, or do you just do that day of?
Now that I'm thinking about it, for the brand videos that I've done recently, I've gone to meet the people in person to talk to them first. So I have like seen everything and known where I wanted to shoot. In the case where if I'm going somewhere and say like, this has happened for like photo sessions, especially for like I'm trying to set up headshots. If I can't make it to the location, I have them take pictures and send them to me so that I know what it looks like.
That works too, yeah.
But preferably I go and see it first. It obviously helps.
Yeah, usually I don't. But I intentionally, like, I make a day of schedule. So I will allot time when I first arrive to essentially do the location scouting right then and there.
That makes sense.
It's like I'll get there, I will walk around, see the lay of the land, figure out what works, locate like setup wise, like what rooms we can use, if anything, stuff like that. And so I don't fully prepare in that sense, but I think, doing a day of and having at least like 40 minutes to just walk around I've found has been good enough.
100%. Yep. As long as you like take time to do it at some point before you shoot, I think that's fine. Yeah.
I mean, so I'm currently working on one, and like I don't plan on going in prior, but they have told us that they already have multiple rooms in mind, and they'll prepare them to be clean and whatever. So I'm confident that if they know that they have rooms ready and we'll still do our little walk around when we get there, I'm sure they'll look good.
Yeah. In the one instance I'm thinking of that I did last year, the guy I was talking to was like really old. So he's old school. And so that was part of the reason why we wanted to do an in-person meeting, was because he's just old school like that. And I was like, that's fine. But also, there will be times when you meet with a potential client or a client and they won't know exactly what they want to do. So in that case, it would be beneficial for you to go in advance, take a look around, listen to their ideas, what they want to get out of it. And then like, I guess when they're leaning more on you, that's when I think it would be beneficial to go in advance. That's an instance where I think it helped a lot, because he was able to show me. It was an assisted living place.
Right.
Yeah, that one. So it was really good for me to be able to see, like, they have an assisted living facility, but then they also have like apartments that are not as assisted, but like seeing all the different areas and like the whole campus was helpful for me to picture like where each shot should go. So definitely need to do your research before, because the more you do before, the easier it will be when you're doing the actual production phase.
Yeah. And then what else did we say? We kind of were talking about like, you know, during the shoot itself, don't be afraid to also just
pivot
on the fly. And like, if you're, you know, don't be afraid to go off script as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes like you have a shot list and maybe the shot doesn't look good in the moment. Change the angle,
happens.
Change the lighting, just be adaptable. And I would say just, when in doubt, just like overshoot and take the extra shot. Like it's not going to hurt if you do a couple extra shots here and there.
Right. Right.
I always fall back on that. I used to overshoot so bad. I'm better about it now, but I used to be an overshooter.
I think everyone starts that way.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I'm just trying to be as efficient as possible. Get what? There was one time, it was a product shoot, and it was just in studio, so it was just me and Luke, and the deliverables was 25 photos, but we set up each photo was so like meticulous that we set them up very, very, you know, cautiously and purposely. We literally were like halfway through, and we're like, we are literally taking one. We should probably take multiple, because like. We're like 25 photos. We've taken, there's SD card has 25 photos on it.
No.
So it's like, we should probably not do that.
Oh my God. At least you were like taking the time to set it up properly.
Yeah.
So
we realized it like halfway through. We're probably on like photo 10 or 11. We're like, we're on photo 10 and this card has 10 photos on it. We should probably maybe take a couple backups, like double take or like change things up. We were being too exact that day.
Yeah. I would rather, I guess, overshoot than undershoot.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, we should probably take more.
Yeah, take the extra shot when you can. No big deal.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah. No, this was a quick one. Just a fast little topic for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Prepare in advance as much as you can, but don't be afraid to adapt on the fly. Make shit up.
Yeah, you know, there's gonna be moments, whatever type of shoot you're on, that you might lose a little bit of creativity, and you're gonna have to figure out a way to move past that and keep the shoot going. There are multiple ways to do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's definitely been times on shoots where it's like super busy and I completely blank and I'm like, what the hell am I even doing? Like, I don't know what to do. You just have to like take a deep breath. In those really stressful moments, it can all just fly right out of your brain. So take a deep breath. Check your shot list.
Staying calm and like not panicking is important. Mm-hmm. It's hard to not panic sometimes. Like if something goes really wrong, your instinct reaction is to panic, and you have to override that.
This happened at a wedding I shot on New Year's Eve, and the ceremony was a Catholic church ceremony, and the priest did the kiss before they exchanged the rings. It was like completely ass backwards. They didn't do any communion yet. They didn't do anything. Like the kiss is at the end, traditionally. So he like completely switched up the order, and I was on the side, and I had a second shooter at this wedding that was center angle. So he had gotten it, but I freaked out because I had the side angle, but I didn't have the main. He had the main angle. It was fine. But I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm like looking around. I'm like, what's going on? They ended up, going through the whole ring exchange, communion, all that stuff. And they kissed again at the end, and I was in the right place. But like in that moment, I was scared because like I wanted to have that shot. But you have to just, like in that instance, no one was expecting that.
Right.
That kind of a switch up. So I did panic in that moment.
Yeah.
But at least I was recording and I had the side angle, God forbid.
Yeah, like you had an angle. Exactly.
Yeah. And I had a tripod angle, but I don't think it was like a good shot. But it was something. So just be prepared to always be recording if you think something's going to happen.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Please follow us, rate us 5 stars on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, all the good stuff. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.